anywhere you are in this building at any point, you have a view out. So the key was maintaining a sense of constant connection to the outdoors. If you think of the diurnal cycle and circadian rhythms, there's a positive psychological benefit to understanding what the change of light conditions are over the day. So all the offices have natural lighting, all these spaces have direct connection to the outdoors. Alignments of the interior spaces to the exterior were based not on whimsy, they were based on locations of trees. And so at the end of a lot of these vistas, you'll see that there are trees that are part of that image of a continuity between the interior and the exterior space. We were asked to be creative about how we handled rooms. There are a number of classrooms here. And so one of the approaches we took was to say, well, let's be flexible about it and create, and it's interesting that you're seeing this now, there are some children in that classroom right now. We're able to pull those doors closed. This is the same type of room configuration here. There's a barn door style development to it so that we can pull those open and suddenly that space can expand into this space, but similarly, and just as importantly, this space here, this main circulation exhibition space, can bleed into that space. And so you can imagine these rooms changing the sizes, flexibly over time. Those are cedar panels. They look really heavy, but they're actually pretty light. The design of the building structurally is a series of auger cast piles that go down about 75 feet. Those piles have caps on them, on top of which set what are called grade beams. And then there's a 12-inch structural slab. So the slab of the building becomes both the floor and the whole means of support of this structure. The finish of it is a sealed and stained concrete. We want to minimize the amount of materials we use as much as possible and also bring something in that created an earthy tone that had some reflectivity to it to give a sense of increased volume to the space.
The reason why Audubon got involved in this project and really in this location, it's part of an international program called the Important Bird Area. And so there are spots designated all around the world that are important for birds for one reason or another. So there was an idea of placing these new urban education centers right downtown, and so that you could really get more people involved in the mission, and it wasn't just birders, but it was people interested in urban revitalization and connecting people with nature and improving student academics and breaking the cycle of poverty and all kinds of things that come out of hosting a community center. That's really how Audubon came to the table in this project, and that's the reason why we're situated where we are. It's a very important part of our mission. And really our mission is to connect people with the natural world, but we don't want to stop there. We want to inspire stewardship in their everyday lives. So the direct and visual connection between the urban setting and downtown where a lot of people live and the natural area was really important for us. So when we looked at the architecture and where we would place the building on the site, we wanted to have those views.
Never want to do is rob people that spend most of their time here the opportunity of having some natural lighting. We kind of looked at breaking up the width of the building by bringing some natural light into the center of it. So essentially we're in the center of the staff portion of the building, wing of the building. And if you look at the kind of height of the space, it's a little bit taller. To the north, which is up here, we have clear story light facing north, and we love that north light. To the south, we have a wall on which another side is offices, and those offices are on the exterior wall of the building, which is a full wall of glass. We introduced clear story lighting above here to create a borrowed light scenario so that it allows the light into the center of the space. It also gives the opportunity for the inhabitant of that space so they can see out to the north as well as being able to see out to the south. And a number of the doors have glass panels in them, so that allows even more light into the space. So if you're in the space, this is not your typical corridor. It's very well illuminated. And even the mechanical rooms have windows into them so that you can see the mechanical equipment and then see through them to an outside window that is on a pinpoint vector to the geothermal wells. Again, it's about teaching. This is a teaching institution, and it allows people to understand what the sort of guts of the building look like and what they do.
Sure.
So it's a great story.
Some of the administrative areas.
Some of the administrative areas, exactly. So everyone has a great space.
One of our main goals is to control a lot of our rainwater runoff. So one of the features that we have is the green roof. Like I said, we have a little specialized soil that's a lot lighter than regular soil. It almost feels like gravel, a lot of recyclable materials in it. Underneath that, there is black matting that looks almost like egg crate, and it allows the roots to grab hold to the soil. And then underneath that is just recyclable material insulation, and then it's the roof deck. So it's pretty simple. We have different phlox and sedums up here, and we're able to absorb a lot of the rainwater. What the plants don't absorb goes out onto our downspouts, and those are managed by our bioswales or our rain gardens, or just goes into recharging our groundwater. They're developing right now a little shade structure out there, because as you can see, we don't have a lot of trees and a lot of shade opportunities. So that's being put up. Also, just to the left of that, you can see a large rock, which is our climbing wall. And next to that, you can see the water tower. That used to be the water tower for the Lazarus warehouse. There's 2 horizontal beams from the ground up. They're going to be turned into observation decks. And we've got some wetlands out there, and the park's just constantly developing. There's going to be a lot more trails. So there's just a lot of good ideas out there, a lot of things that are being developed right now, and it'll be continue to develop for the next 5 to 10 years.